Hey fiber friends, it's Michelle. Welcome to another episode of Stashdown. Do you like a podcast where the random knitter just goes on and on and on about something ad nauseum without shutting up about it when they probably should and they don't know how to edit? And it just seems to go on forever and you wonder if they're going to really ever stash down. You're in the right spot if you like that. Anyway, welcome back, friends. I know I just uploaded a podcast episode last night. It might have technically been September the 11th, because it might have been after midnight when I did it, or when it actually was fully uploaded. I actually recorded it a week ago and then headed right into a super busy, mainly knitting related, wool related weekend. I mentioned at the end of it that it was Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival starting, and I was really excited about all of that. Well, I got real busy with that, and then on Sunday, Madison Knitters Guild had our first speaker for the 2025-2026 season, which always starts in September and goes to May. Our first speaker for the year was Patty Lyons, and so she had classes in the Madison area last weekend, and I got to take a class with her on Sunday at 1:30. So just super busy, and then I am about to head out on my next trip. And if you've been following any of the solo Disney vlog installations that I've been putting up, I think they're just a couple. The majority of them I think will be little videos and stuff while I'm there. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, about to leave for that, so I'm trying to wrap stuff up at work, tie things down, get things ready to be gone for a week, and I had something pretty much every night after work this week, so I didn't have a chance to completely watch the whole thing like I normally do right away and get it posted right away. I just kept trying to watch it and getting like partway through and just not ever getting all the way through it, and I felt kind of weird about it, to be honest, but I think that might just be where I'm at myself right now. I know it was a little oddly rambly about the cabled trellis shawl, but you know, I don't edit, and that's the way the ball bounces when you don't edit, and I just decided, you know, there was too much in the way of sharing finished objects, especially the Stashdown a Low project that I did by myself. Finally getting that done, and then realizing as I was recording that it done did me wrong with a drop stitch. So yeah, went on, and now I'm talking about it again, so I'm just gonna move on from that. But you know, I just decided to go ahead and post it anyway because I didn't want to go through all that again. And also we just have Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. I got a whole pile over here of acquisitions. And the other thing that, you know, I've thrown around here a couple times and said, I'm not going to change the name of this podcast because I like Stashdown, it's catchy. And then every time I go to record another episode, I'm like, yeah, girl, but one Stashdown languishing UFO project down does not make stashing down what's happening. Not when you come on here every week or so and you have another pile of stuff to just say, look what I did. Look what I did. Look what I did. I'm looking at it. Look what I did. I was going to be really good this year at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, but then I knew I wasn't going to be. I knew Honey Gold Acres would be there. I knew Fiber Optics would be there. I was very good with respect to Fiber Optics. At the end of Saturday, I did go back, but I, in total, only bought 3 skeins of yarn from Fiber Optics. I feel that that is restraint. That is a fraction of the number of skeins I normally buy from Fiber Optics. So let me tell you where I'm at right now with my ideas for projects for 2025 as we head into we've headed into the last half of the year. So I started out the year with my idea that I was going to do a pair of socks a month. And in so doing would be stashing down lots of sock yarn that I have in my stash, like all of these kits from Knit Circus, these little, you know, dual knit cakes, dual sock cakes, and then I have a bunch of other like self-striping skeins of yarn, lots and lots of other just hanks of sock yarn that, you know, came in a thing with their little complimentary mini skein for the toe and the heel, stuff like that. I have lots of yarn that would be, or was meant to be, was packaged and sold as, you know, for socks. Not that you can't use that weight yarn for other things, but so I thought I can get into that. I can stash down some sock yarn. I can finish some sock projects that I've had on needles that have been languishing for a while. All good. All stashing down. All examples of stashing down. And I did finish 3 pairs of socks, January, February, March. April kind of hit the skids with that that operation. Started a pair, I think. Didn't I start in April? Yes, I did. I started an April pair for Tom. Now it's not even one of the sock pairs that I'm working on. Then one of the things that happened was I decided that, I was going to make hats for people for Christmas this year, because I want to, you know, Nancy Bates came and spoke at the Guild, and I was really excited about her Washington hat, and we're going to get the kids the Washington hats, going out to go to school in Washington, and we're taking a road trip, so the 4 of us will get a Washington hat. You know, when I got halfway through that whole venture, and I did, you know, I was proud of that. That's cool. But in the meantime, you know, resurrected my National Parks book that I have and showed it to Tom's kids when they were here in May, and said everybody's going to get a National Parks hat. They're very big into, especially his 2 sons, are big outdoorsy guys, hikers. They do a lot of the, you know, they both live out west. One is in Colorado, one is in Vegas. They hike, they do those things. So, you know, they had lots of parks to choose from that they have actually been to. And so everybody picked, I've got 4 hats going in that direction for the holidays based on what they picked. And then around that same time in the spring, Andrew Maury released the Plumped Up Harlow, and I got all excited about the plump base from Spin Cycle. Seemed like, you know, this will be not a great big project to get my hands on some more colorways of Spin Cycle and work with them. So I have yarn for one of those for Carter, and I have yarn for one of those for Emma, and I have yarn on one of those from that yarn for one of those for me. Made one for Tom already. So then I guess I found myself on a hat journey, or that's what I think anyway, a hat journey for 2025, and was like, well, I guess I'm on to hats now instead of socks. I am going to do those hats because they are going to be Christmas presents. They all know that's happening, and so I need to come through with that. I have a few months yet. I have a couple of the kits for the National Parks hats. A lot of the other ones that they had picked were, of course, sold out in the website, and I really don't want to go buy all the individual skeins of yarn. I like that she sends you what you need, so I'm kind of waiting for those other kits to be available, and I do need to grab those because they're planned. They're planned Christmas gifts. Now I have another gift knit for Tom. He's wanted a scarf. And so he decided that I showed him the gardener scarf by Max Messier. And so I'm gonna make that for him, and I ordered the yarn for that. And I'll show you that in just a minute. But I just I keep acquiring, I keep, deciding on all these grand ideas. And so I decided at Sheep and Wool that I really didn't have a particular big shawl or sweater project that I needed to start, because I have so many sweaters already started, and it's some stage of the game. In fact, I went back, I decided, I can't buy a boatload more fiber optics yarn for big projects, because I haven't busted into the fiber optics yarn projects that I got last year at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool and Rhinebeck. That was a total of 4 big projects, 3 shawls and a sweater. Wait, no, 2 sweaters, 2 shawls. That's a lot of damn yarn from fiber optics, and they are up there. Yeah, so I thought, well, okay, here's what I'm doing. So I'm going to Disney. I'm going solo. I'm taking some small projects so that I can take them in the parks with me in walk and knit style bags, and while I'm standing in line for things or waiting for a show to start or something like that, I can be knitting. Nobody's gonna be bothered by that because I'm by myself. So, you know, nobody's gonna be like, why aren't, you know, as they're probably on their phones anyway if they're in line or whatever. And we're, you know, we've been talking in lines for 3 days and now we're just kind of sitting around. Anyway, good thing to do, I think, if you're solo and you knit, bring a little project. If you're standing in line for a half an hour, might as well get a couple rows on your sock done, right? So I am, I've said this, I believe, a magic looper, 2 at a time, toe up. That's my sock place. I've really only, well, I knit last fall's sock with Andrea Mowry that I can't remember the name of. Oxbow? It was Oxbow socks, I think. Those were great. Loved those. But my other socks that I've done so far are one called, it's a really vanilla plain stockinette sock, Pigs in Blanket, which I think actually might have been designed, I think I said this, by somebody at the Sauzier. I could be wrong. And then DRK Everyday Socks. I really haven't messed around with other socks. I don't want her to think. I want to just be like, vanilla socks. I'm just showcasing the yarn. I don't really care. Like, I'm not, you know, at some point, maybe when I get a whole bunch of yarn, sock yarn, like finished up and actually made it to socks, then maybe I'll venture into some crazy different kinds of pattern socks. But I decided sock projects are the way that I want to go. But I don't want to be fiddling around with like magic loop, standing in line and whatever. I want something that's small, one sock at a time, which is kind of, you know, is kind of heretical. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yes. For me, for socks, because I've too many times in the past just gotten stuck on Sock Island, and yeah, so I've started 3 socks in the last week because I didn't want to be like in a line situation and like trying to figure out a heel turn. So I was hoping that I could get at least one of them to the point just past a heel turn, and then really all I'm doing is like working my way up the sock. I'm almost to the heel turn on one pair. The others I'm just kind of just past the toe. So I think, you know, I'm in a good spot where I can take these 3 projects. Where are they? Oh. And I indulged in a couple of cute little bags. I love these bags. They're from Matterroot. I have, I think, 2 big ones, but I don't know what the heck happened to the other one. I got something from Matterroot in bag form at Rhinebeck last year, and I had one like this actually. I have the big sweater size of this one because moon phases already, but I love these because I love how they clip like this, which you can clip to your backpack, your belt loop, or whatever, and then it's still open to pull out and do a walk in it. So this is some of the yarn that, so let me back up. The other 2 pairs of socks that I have started that are in here, the other style, pretty, I love this, and on the inside there's a knit print. The 2 pairs that are in here are a couple of the Halloween cut. Well, one of them is not really a Halloween colorway. It's actually kind of a Maleficent colorway, which is why I picked it. It's really not. I think this is Electric Avenue. Oh, the tag's not here, but I believe something like that. Electric Avenue. Anyway, I'm gonna call it Maleficent socks. Sometimes knit circus yarns really still smell good and lanolin-y. Not these. Anyway, I picked this one because it was not really Halloween, but it's definitely reminds me of Maleficent colors. And then the other one is, I also don't have the color name here, but this is definitely one of the ones that's a Halloween colorway. paint. So these are coming out like this so far. Whoops. They look like Tigger. Come on now. They were black and orange, definitely. And then the other one I've got about the same. Whoop-de-doo, but there's where I'm at with these two. So these are going with, boop. We'll see how far we get. And then, so what I decided to do, this is all like connected back to Wisconsin sheep and wool. Because I didn't have any big projects that I was like, oh, I want to get yarn for those. So a lot of times in the past, I've wanted to get yarn for the Stephen Westminster knit along, but I didn't do that last year. I don't think I'm gonna do it this year. I've just got too many other things going, and I haven't finished Mr. Knit Along from 2 years ago. So not doing it. So I didn't have an excuse to buy a shawl's worth of yarn, which is fine. I was like, well, giving myself permission to go back to my old practice of buying a skein. If I like something, buy a skein, get it in a sock weight, make some socks out of that. And let me tell you, I did come across several skeins of yarn that fell into that category. So I got a lot of single skeins. But then I decided, you know, I want to go with a DK weight sock. Haven't done a DK weight sock. So we'll head back there. This is one of the skeins that I got, and this is, hang on a second. Excuse me. This, come here. Bumblebee Acres Fiber Farm. They are out of, come on now. They are out of Bumblebee Acres Fiber Farm. They're here in the Midwest, and now I've forgotten if they're in Illinois. Anyway, their booth is always cram-packed, and I have to just get the heck out of there because I can't, like, it's just, you can't even see, because I think they have a following, and also they're just fabulous. So I've always been curious. I've been Bumblebee Acres Fiber Farm curious for a few years now, but just like I said, I just, you know, I can't get boxed into a booth with like 20 other people and have a good time. So Tom and I actually went on Friday afternoon. I was going to go all day Saturday, and then we both kind of thought, well, you know, we've got kind of we'll be able to wrap things up on Friday by about noon, and so he was kind of interested in going. I was going to try to get him to go on Saturday in the morning, see the dog trials, and maybe leave me there, and I'd hitch a ride with a friend at the end of the day so that he didn't have to be there or just hanging out knitting with us. And I thought he was really going to want to go around and see the sheep barns and stuff, and we just kind of ran out of time because we spent the whole time in the vendor barns. But, you know, Tom is my yarn daddy. He is very supportive and amazing in general. And he's not my yarn sugar daddy. Don't think that he's out there just laying down his own cash for my habit. It's not that. But he is very supportive and occasionally enabling. He's definitely supportive, though. He is starting to, well, not starting to, but maybe more frequently, really just doing the head shake thing with me. But he knew, like, he knew Saturday, he's like, I'm not surprised you came home with more. Anyway, had decent restraint on Friday. I had 2 kind of biggish purchases because Honey Gold Acres was there. So I had to get some Honey Gold Acres. I had to. But I also, again, compared to last year, restraint. Actually, last year I ended up finding what I wanted. She didn't have as much as I wanted in the base I wanted, so I got some there, and then I, on the back end, ordered some when she got home. So kind of technically, sort of, kind of, but not really. And that, actually, that big spin that I'm talking about having to get from her is my big spin that I'm doing on Ursula. So I think I've shown that before. It's kind of the purples and oranges, the Emily Mabel, if I have mentioned that before. That was from last year, from her. Anyway, I'll go into show and tell in a little bit, but yeah, so I got Honeygold Acres and then the Bumblebee Acres purchases were for Friday, and then just some other little notions and things like, and I did get a sock kit from a friend of mine, Laura Gavins from Pearl Talk. Hello. I have a really cute Halloween sock kit, so I'll show you that too. But yeah, just not too bad. I wasn't too naughty on Friday, and I was like, you know what, this is good. I was very proud of myself for walking out of there on Friday with no fiber optics. They didn't have any new samples there that just, you know, freaked me out and had me buying a shawls quantity or a sweater quantity. So I was happy about that. But I was still like, there's just this itch in the back of my head, like, you didn't come home with any fiber optics. Good for you, but I mean, it's going to be another year before you get to shop from them. So what do you think about that? So Saturday, my intention was to mainly sit my butt down in the circle, and other than go and watch the herding, the sheepdogs in the morning, sit and knit, and, you know, maybe go in and check a couple things out. I did decide to do something overnight, and one vendor had yarn from several different places. I think their thing is that they have, you know, they sell yarns that are American milled, and they did have a small portion of Spin Cycle, and they had some Ghost Ranch. They had a couple skeins of Ghost Ranch, and you know, on Friday night I just decided I'm going to make the Ooey Gooey cowl, I guess, to go with my 2 Ooey Gooey sweaters that I'm going to be working on. So at first I thought I could grab some of my house blend, the brown coffee colored stuff, and figure out something, you know, to order from some Odang DK, or not Odang DK, but just Odang, the lace weight held together for that one. But no, I was like, I could go get those 2 things of Ghost Ranch, and then I could go over to Fiber MacGyver and get some Surrey lace weight over there, which is what I ended up doing. And I'm actually kind of happy because I got back to that one place. They only had 1 skein of the Ghost Ranch left. Somebody had come and bought the rest of, well, you know, most of the other Spin Cycle that they had. And so I was like, well, I'm going to go over to Utopia then and get some Helix because it's cheaper and it's Wisconsin, and I'm going to do that. So I ended up getting yarn for more economically, by the way, from Utopia and Fiber MacGyver. And I'm super excited about these colors for the Ooey Gooey cowl. I'm gonna do that. I like that purchasing her pattern, usually she does a discount, and remember, usually does a discount when you buy a pattern when it's brand new, but she is, instead of giving a 15% discount, she's donating 15% of all the proceeds for the Ooey Gooey cowl to Sisters United. So I think that's pretty freaking sweet. Yeah, I'm rambling. I'm kind of going. You need like the little thing on the wall with the yarn and the text to follow this one, baby. But all right, back at it. So I decided, yeah, bunch of single stuff, doing some socks, giving myself permission just to find a good, cool colorway that I love, just getting one and making socks out of it, not worrying about a big giant sweater project. Well, on Saturday, I did the Ooey Gooey cowl thing, and I was like, I'm good. I think I got one other little something, but I don't think it was yarn. But while I was at Utopia, a couple things happened. And later on, I went back because that's what I do. They have a new base, very well priced, I think, called Folk. I'll show you in a second. And just kind of going around when I was there looking for my Helix, I kept seeing this colorway in different bases, but I would gravitate toward a colorway in a particular base. Just, damn, it was like jumping out at me and sticking to my forehead. And lo and behold, it was always the same colorway. It just looked so different. Actually, from dye lot to dye lot, it would look different. as those handspun looking guys do. Actually, no, it wasn't even handspun. It was just a variegated, but as you'll do from base to base, right? Or even weight sometimes in a similar base. One weight or another, it looks different. But there were a couple of dye lots in this folk base, and they would look a little different from one to the other, but I think they're gonna look good mixed together because I got some. I also got the same colorway in a sock base, and in the folk base, it looked so good up against this other colorway that was oranges, and in that folk base it looked very tonal, this orange called pumpkin. So as you can imagine, it was delicious. And I was like, oh my god, okay, so I'm not getting 2 sweater quantities worth of this yarn, no matter how much less expensive it is, because it's like big and squishy, and so even though the skein is like this big, it's only like 280 yards, so you still need a whole bunch. And suddenly it's DK weight. Suddenly I couldn't find a flippin' sweater that I would want to, you know, in DK weight. I'm like, none of these are either fingering or they're worsted weight. Like, help me out here, universe. I know you're trying to like stop me from buying a sweater's quantity worth of yarn, but I'm gonna buy a sweater's quantity worth of yarn in this space. It's just too good. So I gave up the whole orange color in that base and just said I'm gonna go with this Tapestry colorway. It's so beautiful. But then I found Tapestry in a BFL base, and then the pumpkin in the BFL base, and I just got one of each to do a cowl, so I can still put those 2 colorways together, but only with two skeins of yarn. So Saturday I kind of did frickin' go crazy town when I said I was done. That is what happened. There's always like that last, somebody's like, I want to go back, and okay, I'll go with you. And you go in and then you come back out with a bag of yarn. So it was better than last year. My haul was better than last year, but it was a haul that didn't really need to happen. So I don't know, do I change the name of this from Stashdown to like, well, I mean, the logical change would be Stash Up, but that sounds dumb. But like, I don't know, Yarn Addict or Fiber Addict or something. There's probably already a podcast called out. But anyway, I don't think it's not percolating in the back of my mind. Even though Stashing Down is just, honestly, it's in here. I don't buy crap. So it's not like I want to stash down. I want to use what I have, but then who's with me? Okay, let's go with some show and tell, shall we? So from Bumblebee, Honey Gold Acres and Bumblebee Acres are Bumblebee Acres Fiber Farm. Like I keep thinking I'm saying that wrong because of Honey Gold Acres. I'm gonna start with the Bumblebee Acres because it was Friday. It was the first day of purchasing. So one thing I love about Bumblebee Acres that I love about a lot of, 100 Ravens and Fangirl Fibers and I think Leading Men Fiber Arts does the same. Lots of dyers do this. They name their colorways after like fandoms. Okay, that is another FOMO. You name your stuff after fandoms, and I'm there. Like I'm a goofball that way. So then they also had like this huge, like 2 rack sections of colorways that were just like fall and Halloween, an homage to fall and Halloween. From like the neutrally ones and muted colors to more classic colors to ones that were like brighter, and then some like grabby neon Halloween-y stuff. And I was just like, dang. So I ended up with what, 5? I think, maybe 6, 5, I think, skeins of DK. Their base is called Squishy DK. It is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, 4-ply, so good for DK socks. So that was my, so yeah, I was like, oh, and I just was just like, it was like trying to pick between your children. Like, I can't leave any of these behind. There were a couple others I could have grabbed and I was like, no girl, no. But okay. I mean, this one's called, hold on, Scarecrow. What is it called? Scarecrow Fest. It's a Scarecrow Fest. Right? Scarecrow Fest. Oh my God. Please tell me you can understand. And look at the sock. Look at the sock that's coming out of it. Oh, she's so pretty. Look at it. Guys, I'm digging the cinematic setting on this recording today. I'm gonna do that from now on. Little lanolin. I can smell it a little. Okay, so this is sock one of my first pair of DK socks. Bumblebee, Acres, Scarecrow Fest. Okay, so that was skein number one from Scarecrow Fest. Going to Disney with me. This one is called October Nights. Ooh, October Nights. Come on. I don't care about me. October Night. Don't look at the price tag. Okay, I think that's cool. For socks. Let's see. What else have I got here? Oh, geez. Okay. I mean, here's my other, if you know, fandoms, yes. If you name anything with a witch-related name, it could be butt ugly, which this is not. This is Old Salem. I mean, come on now. It's cool. Some cool, very neutrally browny socks. Sweater weather. Sweater weather. This probably looks a lot like Tapestry. I'm wondering which is the colorway from Utopia that I couldn't get off of. But it's pretty and fallish. And yes, I only got 5. This is Spell on You. Pretty Halloween speckled. Oh my God. Yes, bring it with the fall colorways, please. Oh man. But I'll wear these any old time because every day is Halloween. Okay, so that's my Bumblebee extravaganza. I'll buy a skein of yarn, make some socks from Bumblebee fibers. 5 skeins. I had 4, and then somebody pulled a bunch of this out of their bag. I don't know what they're doing. And I was like, what the heck is that? And she said, oh, well, it's Scarecrow Fest. And I had actually been looking at, I didn't get any fiber from them, but they had a small amount of fiber. And one of them that I kept getting pulled back to was, I think it was a BFL braid of fiber, and it was Scarecrow Fest. And I kept like, oh my God, that's so pretty. Oh my God, I don't think I'm gonna get fiber from here because I don't want to buy like, I already got some fiber and I felt like I wasn't gonna get more fiber. And I just kept getting pulled over there though. And then I was like, you have yarn in this base? I mean, this colorway? Of course they did. And it's awesome. It's awesome. So I got 5. All right. So here's my Curl Talk Spooky Socks little cute Halloween sock kit. Dee-dee. Probably not unlike other Halloween sock yarn I do have, but it's from Pearl Talk. And Laura said, any sock will do. Of course, it's going to be toe heel. I might do toe heel and then toe heel, left and right. Wouldn't that be clever? And then you do a duplicate stitch on the top of either toe. One says boo, one says eek. So if I do toe heel, and it will be boo on the toe, eek on the toe. You know, because you wouldn't write it in the same color that you used on the toe. Anyway. Okay, and then I went, one thing that I went looking for, and this actually is not DK. Wait, is it? No, I think this is fingering. I think this is sock weight. Tom and I had gone to Mineral Point the weekend before Sheep and Wool, and there was a yarn shop there called The Station. I had seen, pardon me, I had seen them bend at Madison Knitter's Guild before, but I hadn't been to Mineral Point, which is a cute little town. Super arty. Super arty. Enunciate. Super arty. And I resisted, because I'm like, Sheep and Wool is next weekend, I don't need anything in here. But I saw a colorway in there from my other dyer friend in the area, Melissa Brown of Four Crows Fibers. I tried to stumble over the name of her brand last week when I couldn't speak very well. Four Crows Fibers, and it was called Earth to Sky. Look at this, I'm on a super rainbowy earthy kick right now. Can you tell? This knits up so amazingly. I mean, it just kind of looks in this game like a earthy rainbow. Okay, sure, you've probably got other stuff like that, but it knits up, and I love, excuse me, I love the black and white and dyed all over base that she uses. She used this and then another color in a green that was very complementary to these colors, like an earthy green. I can't remember the name of that yarn, though I've seen it before. She used those two to do the Nightlights shawl by Andrew Mowry that I'm working on. I think I showed that last time. And it was like, oh, because it wasn't the, you know, the woolly Daylights, Nightlights yarn. And a spin cycle, a little, it was the color changing through the main color of it with the green in the slip stitch stuff, and it looked so good. And then she used some of the leftover to do some little mitts, and so you could see how it looked stockinette in these mitts, and I was like, I gotta have that colorway. But I'm gonna wait because I know she'll be there. I know Melissa will be there with her own booth, and so I got some of this. Oops, for some socks. And while I was there, she also had this colorway, which I don't know why this appeals to me so much. It's called Beggar's Tomb. It's purple and brown, and I just don't know why. I think this colorway is just, it's just the way I am programmed. I don't know. It's gonna be cool. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh, and I'm gonna hang on to this because you're gonna see another colorway that I got from Fangirl. There's a theme, folks. There's a theme. Because I mean, like, look. How many socks? Well, they're different. Damn it. They're different. Come on. Look at that. They're different, but they're like in their own little club together. We're going to flip this up so there's some peachiness in there from that one. And look at all their buddies. These are like just like the emo buddies in school. We're not bright like everybody else, but we're beautiful. I'm so weird. And that's why you join. If you join. Okay, so that was, oh look what this is. Tom bought some dryer balls from Honey Gold Acres and a bag. I bought the shirt because it's such a cute logo this year. And they usually do have a cute logo, but look how cute that logo is, and colorful and just whimsical. I love it. Where do I go to next? I'll show you. I'm gonna keep going with the Wisconsin sheep. Oh, here's my Honey Gold Acres from Friday. Guys are gonna laugh. All right. This is gonna be a combo spin. I've decided. These are all Polworth yak and or silk. One does not have silk. The other two are yak, Polworth, silk. Sorry. Polworth, mulberry silk, and yak. I mean, I was consistent all weekend. That's gonna be a kick-ass combo span, don't you think? The problem was she didn't have like 3 of these, or 3 of these, or 3 of those. So I was like, well, I'll get 1 of each. Okay. Moving on to Saturday. Saturday, okay, here's my ooey gooey cowl situation. Let's start with that. Super proud of that. All right. Who's just like, Stashdown, eh? Got a problem, chickie. You got a problem. You got a serious problem. Okay, so this is the Utopia He Looks Fine. This is, oh, are you freaking kidding me right now? I thought this was, the colorway was cider. It's also Tapestry. Can you see that? It's also Tapestry. 90% of the yarn that I bought, 98% of the yarn that I bought from Utopia on Saturday is this colorway. And we're gonna hold them all up at the same, like we're gonna hold them up so you can see they look different. But I mean, there's a theme here. Anywho, I mean, Wisconsin, who needs spin cycle, right? Ooey Gooey Cowl. This is Fiber MacGyver. Come on. No one cares about my face. Come on. I think that's gonna be fabulous. Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Ooey Gooey Cowl. Okay. There's a slight departure in the colorways. Next. So I did decide. My stash needs to represent. It needs representation from fiber optics. So I'm like, okay, Michelle. You can pick 1 skein of yarn for socks at Fiber Optics because they will be their cashmere base, KA cashmere, because it's merino cashmere nylon. I'm gonna take that price tag off. No one needs to know. You can look it up. Fiber Optics yarns. This is the colorway Fables and Folklore. I mean, it's similar, but it's rainbowy, and it comes out. It's like a. Where else have I had it? I'm sorry, you guys, but I can't even. Look at that. They also aren't really. I don't know, it doesn't smell bad, but it's not like lanolly. It's not sheepy. Anyway. I love fiber optics. Okay. Well then, we decided, and I'll update you because I've already forgotten who this designer is. That's coming in February for Madison Knitters Guild. I will update when things get rolling, but my good friend Lori had this idea that we would do knit along for a hood, like a snood kind of cowly thing in one of her patterns, and a bunch of us would do it as a knit along, and then we'd all do show and tell with one of her patterns. You know, and you can use scrap yarn. You can dig into your scrap yarn. No. You can dig into your scrap yarn. I see that as an opportunity to go back to Fiber Optics and get a couple of skeins of yarn for this project. So that's what I did at the end of the day. Okay, this is where I depart from what I've been buying all weekend. This is called Banshee. And I didn't pick it for its name, but still. I mean, who can lay blame here? Who can? If you're judging me, you're not looking at this yarn. What else? Oh, you know what's cool about Fiber MacGyver is they give you free things. They give you some. I could probably go on a sleeve. Oh, is this the teeny tiny stuff maybe? Anyway, barber cord. And these super cute like needle top. Oh my goodness. Just focus. Just freaking focus. Super cute. They were outside. Yeah, that was the first time they were at. They've been at our knit-in before for Madison Knitters Guild, but that was the first time they were at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. I also, and I might grab another. I might maybe the Fables and Folklore, or maybe one of the other sock weight skeins. You know, not because I want to knit 4 socks while I'm traveling next week. But Melissa Brown said that she uses a 0 for socks. I've never used a 0 for socks, and I decided I'm experimenting, because I did say I'm not going to do, I got sidetracked off of the sock thing, but I'm not going to do 2 at a time. I'm not going to do magic glue because I don't want to have all this, you know, I want to be keeping it here. And I've always wanted to try Flexi Flips needles, and so I got my hands on some. And I got a couple of pairs of 1s, because I usually use a 1 for socks, but I'm also discovering that in the socks that I have for myself right now, and I have like 5 pair now, they're flopsy. Even my pair of DRK everyday socks, I had all my hand knit socks in the hand wash basket, which is just sitting there downstairs. There's a whole bunch of stuff I need to hand wash. And so I've had, all my hand knit socks have been sitting in there. I don't know when the last time was that I wore them, because I'm lazy about hand wash. So I got them all hand washed last weekend, and I only have the one that I've knit that was DRK everyday. And I thought I remembered that they were like negative E's and everything else. They're really flopsy. So I think I have knit, and I don't know which ones, I don't remember which ones, but I have knit at least a couple of the pairs that I have for myself on 1.5s. I have not swatched my socks. That's what happens. So that's fine, they're in your shoe or whatever, or you're wearing them around the house. It doesn't matter. Slouchy socks. It was an 80s thing, 90s thing, whatever. But I am trying to be more conscious about where I start my heel for these next socks, for this sock investment that I just did. So starting my heel sooner, going with a smaller size, just kind of trying it on as I go, and like decreasing how many stitches I have if it feels like it's not going to hug my foot. And I also got a high, just a little 0. So I think I'm gonna start another one tonight, I think, just as my Disney sock knitting experiment. Sock knitting experiment, not experience. I think I have a lot of aspirations for this Disney trip. I think I'm going to be filming things. I think I'm going to be knitting like crazy, and it's going to be I am excited to fuse my 2 passions, because I'm just going to be there by myself, doing whatever the heck I want to, going wherever the heck I want to go, when I want to go there. No one else that I've got to make sure they're okay with where we're going and all of that. Being Julie the cruise director, and just be like, if I want to go and stand in an hour-long line because I'm cool with that, and I've seen everything today that I'm good, and I'll knit and sit there and enjoy where I'm at, I can do that. So if I have 4 socks that I can work on while I'm there, I have 4 socks I can work on while I'm there. 2 of them are in standard 1s. Got a DK pair on some 2s. And now I'll take another sock weight one on some 0s and a different kind of needle. So we're just gonna try it. This was a, well, I won't talk about that. Okay, so from Fangirl Fibers. Is the Bigfoot colorway. Do, 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 do. Look at this. Well, no, see, they're different. They're different. These are different. These are different. These are totally different. Those are totally different, dude. Totally different. There's no white in the Bigfoot. It's not white. It's just where there wasn't as much dye taken up. And definitely, these are different. There's no purple in the Bigfoot. No, that's not purple. It's brown. What happened? Okay. Anyway, apparently I did not have enough brown yarn in the month. And I'm looking at Tom's scarf colors down here. Anyway, hang on. Also, I picked up these really cute little end minders. Somebody turned me on to these and I was like, well, that seems like a neat idea. I'm gonna try that. So you know how you're knitting, you're starting a project and then you do like a long tail cast on or whatever has a long, you know, end up with a tail that maybe is longer than, you know, this long. And so then you're like watching Netflix or whatever and you're like, damn it, I knit with the tail. Well, these little guys, little knit minders, end minders, there's some kitties, there's some doggies, and there's some sheep in there. You just wrap that end around there and then you're not gonna grab that son of a gun. It's kind of cute, whatever. And then I got these. I think I'm gonna do these on the hats that I'm giving everybody for Christmas. Yeah, made with love and swear words, because it's probably gonna happen. Made with love and swear words. And then, because my brother keeps putting his sweater on backwards, this is the back. I have a few like this, but I really like these little flexible cork ones, so I've got some of those from Avenda. I'm really excited to try those little end minders. I think they're cute. Fangirl had, oh wait, where did the first ones go? Oh, here they are. On Friday, I got these, cause Greece, you know, cause I was just in Greece. And then the Magic Kingdom set is downstairs because I started using those. But I have a Magic Kingdom set and a Hollywood Studios set. Focus, please. Focus. Very cute. Just cute fandom. Look, hello, my face isn't even in there. Why aren't you? Trust me, they're Hollywood Studios themed. Stitch markers. I'm gonna use them on the socks for the. I'm gonna switch all the ones out that I have on there and I'm gonna put on Disney World ones. Okay. All right, here we go with the kids. We're in the part of the program where I can get up and cross the floor to the other side of the pile. Oh my gosh, it's almost an hour and we're not done with show and tell. All right, I won't hold all of these up, but I'll hold one of each color, one of each dye lot. Let's see, this one dye lot is 23 and this dye lot is 21. All right, also Tapestry. So, I can't believe this other one was Tapestry. I thought it was cider, much to my surprise. So, okay. There's the Utopia Fine for the ooey gooey. Just please focus on the yarn, focus on the business. Okay. Here are the two. This is Folk. This is 100% Wisconsin wool. And it is a DK weight, like a heavy DK weight. And it is sheepy. Excuse me for a second. It's so nice. It is like a heavy DK. Okay, so that's all the same colorway. I mean, yeah, Michelle, we're going with, similar color situations here. We definitely were in love with a certain palette this weekend, but would you ever say that that's the same? So there's that. Now, the sock base, and it's Tapestry. It looks like that. It looks like a beautiful rainbow. Come on, come on. Look at how pretty she is. But you see, like I just kept going, oh, that's so pretty. Pull it up. It's Tapestry again. What in the heck? And okay, first of all, in the BFF base that they have, 100% BFL, and this is also DK weight. It doesn't look tonal like the folk blend, the folk base did. It looks like almost like, you know, that it would be almost like it's tonal, but I mean, it's not like the stuff I got at the Renaissance Festival, where it's like, you know, it's tonal, but it's like hunky tonal in hunks. It's like kind of stripy tonal. So it's tonal, but look at that frickin' orange, man. Pumpkin. Damn. Does it not look good? This I can believe is Tapestry, but this is in the BFL. Does it not look good with the Tapestry? Oh, please. Come on. Come on. Do I have the picture? This is the cowl that I'm gonna make. What's that? I was just like, I need to use these two colors together, damn it. And they had these patterns, and so that's what I'm gonna do with that. What am I gonna do with this sweater quantity of the folk? I am not sure. I think it's going to be maybe, there's a vanilla sweater pattern out there that somebody tuned me into. I just want the colors to do the talking, and it's just gonna be like a variegated, it's probably gonna just be like, you know, just like every, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. That is going to be super gorgeous. And you know what? My whole wardrobe is just gonna coordinate together. I'm gonna have socks to go with this stuff. I'm gonna have a cowl, more than one cowl to go with this stuff. I'll just be able to like wear all my Tapestry stuff. And everything else, because everything else matches. It's gonna be like a micro wardrobe from Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, where everything goes together. Okay, I'm gonna show you the yarn I have for Tom's project. Excuse me, sorry, books. And then I'm gonna just show you what happened with my fat squirrel problem. I have a fat squirrel problem. Yeah, so this is for the gardener's scarf by Maximus here. This is going to be Christmas for Tom. Come back here. Come back here. And I did pick this little kid out here with his stamp of approval. This is Squish Fingering, which is 100% superwash merino base, Farmer's Daughter fibers in the colorway The Lazy Moose. Okay, this isn't mine, so it's okay that it's brown because it's for Tom. And then the little slip stitch, I think it's a slip stitch motif that's on there, is going to be dyed in the wool. This is Something Wicked. It's gonna be so nice. So nice. Okay, so that's for Tom. That is a Christmas gift. We're at an hour. I'm gonna just show you my, so 3 of these were purchased by my friend Emily at a retreat that she was at this summer, where Amy Beth was vending fat squirrel fiber. The fat squirrel. I did check out Amy's podcast last week. I feel that her energy and my energy are similar. I could relate. But yeah, also has a fun podcast to watch. So these were from that haul from the summer, and I finally got a hold of them on Friday. I hadn't seen Emily. So I have this little sock size. I just love her bag. Her bags are the best. They always have the nice matching handle. Nice zipper, very sturdy fabrics. Really, really nice bags. So when I saw this one, because she just like took a little video of all the bags that she had at the show in the vendor hall there. And so I was just like, that one and that one and that one. I could have gone more, but she had a lot of really great ones this summer. But I did not realize from the picture that this is pencils, colored pencils. I just thought it was cool hexagons with dots in the middle. Of course, pencils. If pencils end on, like before sharpening. How clever. I love it. So that had some socks in it until I got my little walking knit bags from Madder Rouge. So, okay. When I was a kid, I'm gonna try to do this quickly. When I was a kid, my great-grandfather had a book of birds, Audubon bird book thing, and we would go through it, and I thought the most hilarious bird in there when I was like 8 or 9, maybe 10, let's be real, probably till I was a teenager, was the blue-footed booby. And it is a cool bird. I mean, it's got blue legs and feet, right? What the heck? I was like, now I have to have this. It's, you know, it's not like, oh my God, that's really pretty. Oh, that's so stunningly beautiful. But it has blue-footed freaking boobies on it. Blue-footed boobies on a fabric. The blue-footed booby is paid tribute on fabric, and now I have a bag. I love it. And this guy is giving off vibes of the bird that we always call at Disney, the ibis of judgment. There are white ibis all over Epcot, and they will kind of walk up to you while you're sitting there eating your fish and chips in Great Britain and just stare at you in the way that an ibis would stare at you. And we call them the ibis of judgment. So he has ibis of judgment vibes, but he's a blue-footed frickin' booby. I love it. Frickin' love that bag. Okay, so I have a blue-footed booby bag. And I managed to say that without stuttering. Okay, this was my big one. I just think it's really pretty, very botanical. So pretty. Echinacea. And Black-Eyed Susan, which we have in the garden. I love it. She has the best fabrics, but the very best fabrics that I cannot say no to. And so, knowing that I was going to be getting these last week, earlier in the week, she did her Halloween release. And kids, I always get something from her Halloween release because, I mean, it's me. And she finds the best Halloween fabrics. I cannot stress that enough. I could have gotten a couple others, but I was like, no, stop it. Stop it right now. You have 3 bags coming that you haven't even held in your hot little hands yet. 2 is all you get. You're lucky that you're getting 2. Oh my God. It's the Ghost Family Portraits. And look at this guy right here. Oh my God. So cute. Every day is Halloween. I live in a 1906 Victorian. This is applicable every single day. But also these guys. Oh, come on. And then the mushrooms with the faces. Where are you? Mushrooms with the faces. Hold on. Let me find one and I'll zoom in and hopefully. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing this right now? How cute. Again, judge me not. Because I think even all of you would say, you did good, kid. You shouldn't have, but you did good. What you did do is not crap. So, once again, the episode is all about a haul. So I will update you when I get back about the progress I made on socks. Hopefully that will go well. It's not exactly stashing down. Hey, if anybody has an idea that they want to pop into the comments about maybe what I should call this episode without being snarky, you know, maybe we'll rethink that whole thing. I do think Stashdown is catchy and I like it, but you know, I don't seem to be following the rule. So maybe we just go with an ironic title to the podcast. I don't know. Anyway, I gotta get back to it. I have an audition tonight in Madison at the Bartell for 12 Angry Jurors. I'm going for juror number 4. I'm very nervous and I have to go sort of mentally get prepared for that. It's not until later this evening, but I'm a little nervous, and I do feel that if this is not to be, I just found out about the other straight play that Verona area Community Theater is doing, and I don't know anything about it yet, but it's running about the same time as this one. So if this one, if I have not been able to manifest it, then I haven't shot at another one with my VACT peeps, hopefully. So anyway, until the next time, I will say get out there and get your fiber on, and talk at you soon.